Ashley, I think this is the problem you wanted help with. I'm going to do it just from mine, so the numbers will be slightly different than what you saw in your homework. But that's just so I can go through all the parts. Since the due date's already passed, I can't go through all the parts on yours. Just a stupid computer thing. So this says 3 randomly selected households are surveyed. The number of people in the households are 3, 4, and 11. Assume that sample sizes of n equals 2 are randomly selected with replacement from the population of 3, 4, and 11. Listed below are the 9 samples. Complete parts A through C. So here we have our 9 samples. I'm going to write them over here just because we're going to need them. Oops. 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 11, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 11, 11, 3, 11, 4, 11, 11. Okay, now we want to find the standard deviation for each of these samples. Shoot. Okay. Sorry, this is not cooperating exactly like I wanted to. So to find, sorry, not the standard deviation, we want to find the variance. To find the variance, we're going to find the standard deviation and then square that number. So to find the variance, what we're going to do is we're going to put the values in stat. So we're going to hit stat, edit, and we'll put in 3 and 3. And we're going to find the standard deviation. So we're going to hit stat, calc, over to one variable stats, hit enter, and the SX, this right here, now that is our standard deviation. We're going to square that to get our variance. So we're going to square 0, which here will be 0. And it'll actually be 0 anytime we have the same 2 numbers. So 3, 3, 4, 4, and 11, 11. Now we're going to do the same thing for 3 and 4. So stat, calc, one variable stats. Okay, so here we get 0.707. So we're going to take 0.707 and we're going to square that. And if we rounded this just to one decimal place, we'd get 0.5. So we're going to write 0.5 there. Then we're going to do, and that'll be true if we also, the order didn't matter that we put them in there. So 4, 3 will also be 0.5. Okay, then we're going to do stat, edit, and we're going to do 3 and 11. Same thing again, stat, calc, one variable stats. We want the standard deviation, so 5.66. Oops. We want to square that. So that rounds to 32. So that'll be for 3 and 11 and 11 and 3. And then the only one we have left is 4 and 11. So stat, edit, 4 and 11. Oops, no, I had a bunch of stuff entered there. Okay, so here we have 4.95. We want to square that. So here we'd have 24.5. So for that one and for this one. Okay, now this is saying we only have 4 different standard deviations here. We have 0, we have 0.5, 24.5, and 32. Okay, now the probability, there's 9 samples here, so we want to know how many times out of 9 do we get 0. So it's 3 out of 9, which would reduce to 1/3. Then 0.5, we get that 2 out of 9 times, right here and here. 24.5 is 2 out of 9, and 32 is also 2 out of 9. So now it says compare the population variance to the mean of the sample variances. So here we're going to find now the variance of the whole sample would be if we put all three of the numbers in, 3, 4, and 11, let's figure out what we would get there. So if we did 3, 4, and 11, stat, calc, one variable stats. So here, this if we took 4.36 and squared it, the population variance, oops, sorry here, what we actually want to do is take, since we're doing the population, we'd want to take sigma x and square it. So if we take 3.56 and square it, okay, we'd get 12.6. Now, we'd want to take the mean, which means we want to put this into our calculator. So we're going to do stat edit. We're going to put 0.5, 24.5, 32, and then we're going to put our probabilities over here, 1/3, 2/9, oops, I hit the wrong thing, 2/9, 2/9, 2/9, and we're going to go stat, calc, one variable stats, and we have to put L1, alpha L1, or second L1, comma, second L2, and we're going to take the mean here. So our mean here is 12.66. Ooh, I really should have. So the mean here, and for the population, I don't remember what I said. I guess I should have written it down. So we're just going to put those numbers back in L1 real quick. So what was it? 3, 4, and 11. We're going to go stat, calc, one variable stats. So here we want the 3.56. We want to square that. So 12.67. So here we get the same values. So that would be B here. Okay, so it says do the sample variances target the value of the population variance. So here we're saying this is really just interpreting part B. Since they're the same things, we're saying they do target it. So we'd say yes, and that would mean they do make good estimators. So that would be part C here. Okay, if they weren't the same, we'd say they don't target it and it's not the same. Or they're not good estimators. Okay, so I mean these things are pretty confusing, but I hope that helped. Let me know if there's any parts that need clarified and I'll be happy to do that.